Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dorm Debate Podcast. I am with two roommates, Caleb and John. Jonathan could not make it, but nevertheless, it is Super Bowl weekend. We're finally here. Patriots versus the Eagles. It's time for our predictions, but first, we're going to be doing our players to watch. We're going to do one for each team, and do you guys want to start that off? John, you want to start off?
I can start that off.
Okay, take it away.
So my player to watch for the Patriots, I said this guy's name when we did the podcast for the Patriots and Jaguars game. I mentioned this guy's name because in the playoffs he's great. Brady doesn't really need to throw to wideouts that much. He could just throw to this guy who plays in the slot, quick moves, and he gets open. Danny Amendola, I said that he would have a big game against the Jaguars, and he had, I think, like 7 catches for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to say it again. I think that he's going to work magic in the slot. The Eagles are going to be playing Gronk. He just got cleared to play in the Super Bowl. So they're going to be keying in on him. And I think Amendola is going to feast off those short passes and get a lot of yards after catch. And also watch out for those running backs of the Patriots too. So that's my guy for the Patriots.
So we're going each for the Patriots, right?
Patriots first.
Okay.
Eagles.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's funny you said that because literally on my walk, I was been busy all day, but I was thinking and I was reading, different articles. I didn't do a lot of research yet, but my guy is for the Patriots as well. There's a whole team there, and you have Brady, Gronk. Like they're that kind of goes without saying. But for me too, it's also Amendola. Kind of one of the things that makes Brady such a killer. I mean, he's obviously, I think, the best quarterback. I mean, even statistically, you can't argue the 5 Super Bowls, but I think the strength of his game is getting the short to medium passes and moving the chain and getting a rhythm. And Amendola in the playoffs is one of the keys to that. And he's a phenomenal wide receiver, especially in the playoffs. I mean, there could be something could be said for the season, but the connection between him and Brady is really strong, and I think he's really important to the rhythm of the offense throughout the whole game. And of course, they have Gronk, which, I mean, he was injured, but I mean, it was kind of he's not cleared, but he's gonna play, and then he got cleared. So
Do you think he's 100% this game?
Gronk?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I kind of think back to like when Russell Wilson got clearly concussed and he was back in another play. So I'm not a doctor, but I do feel like, I mean, I've played football and the culture's like, I mean, it's getting in a better direction, but it's like you get a concussion, at least you used to like walk it off, or like the game's more important, which I'm not saying that's healthy, but a concussion, from what I've known, is like it takes a while to heal fully. So
it's been 2 weeks, so
yeah, but I don't know. It depends on the severity. If it's a really, I don't know. I've heard anything from weeks to months, but I think Gronk will play at 100%. If that's kind of the root of the question. But if it's healthy for the long term, I don't know. But that's a bigger debate. But I think Amendola is one of the guys to watch, but the guy I'm focusing on for the debate. If the Eagles can, there's no way to completely stop one guy. On that, the whole team is so full of great players in the Patriots. But I think getting to Amendola and kind of preventing that option on some plays for Brady would really kind of break the rhythm and help the Eagles in the game.
Yeah, the most important time for Amendola, those 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 plays where he just makes a quick moves and gets an easy 4 or 5 yards.
Okay, my pick is going to be for the Patriots, the running back James White.
That's a good pick. I like that pick.
You like those picks.
I like that pick.
James White leads the playoffs in touchdowns right now with 6. He has 4 rushing and 2 receiving. I think they're going to use him more rushing, and they're going to use Dion for passing.
Really?
So I think they're going to rush him a lot more.
A lot of teams are using a dual running back setup.
Right.
So that's not,
And you were telling me today that he did really good in last Super Bowl.
Last Super Bowl, James White was like insane. When they were down 28-3, I think White had 3 touchdowns, and he had the touchdown in overtime to win it, and he had the 2-point conversion in regulation to tie it. So he's definitely a guy to watch when it gets late in the game.
And especially with the dual running back with Dion, he's gonna have fresh legs.
Yeah.
So that's having being tired is not a problem. But the last Super Bowl that you were telling me about is why I picked him, because if he performs at the highest level, then he's going to have no nerves at all. He's going to be completely fine, and he's probably going to be the focal point of the offense. I'll start off the Eagles one.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you know this guy. So, my Eagles pick for player to watch is Derek Barnett.
Yeah.
You know him?
Of course, yeah.
Out of the University of Tennessee, the rookie. So, last game, he had a sack and a forced fumble. So, I believe this game, the Eagles have Brandon Graham. They got Fletcher Cox. They got Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins.
Jernigan on the line. And I think
Yeah. They got a lot of good players. So I feel like when the Patriots are looking at their defense, they're not going to be focused on Barnett, which I feel like the Vikings didn't do. And he got a sack and a forced fumble, which probably had a lot of momentum in the game. So I feel like he's going to go under the radar. He's not going to be worried about it all. They're not going to look at him. And it looks like they send him on zone blitzes a lot. So there could be – and Tom Brady's not good at moving around the pocket. So it could be a lot of sacks for Brady and could disrupt the offense. So Derek Barnett, player to watch.
So my player to watch for the Eagles is on the defensive line. It's Chris Long. Their end.
Yeah.
So the big thing for this game for the Eagles, teams to beat Tom Brady get pressure on him by only rushing 4 people. If you have to bring an extra guy, that's one less guy in coverage. So if you can get to him and put pressure on him with 4 people, you have a good chance to win. And I don't know if you guys realize this, but when the Eagles played the Vikings 2 weeks ago, the turning point in that game was when Chris Long beat the tackle, went around the tackle and got pressure on Keenum and hit his arm, and Keenum threw the pick 6. That was the turning point in the game. From then on, the Eagles had all momentum and the Vikings didn't score 1 point.
Yeah.
So I think that this defensive line and Chris Long, especially because he was on the Patriots last season, so he won the Super Bowl with the Patriots. So he knows how to play in these big time games. Fletcher Cox, on the other hand, has never watched a Super Bowl. He came out in the media and said he never watched a Super Bowl. So I have more experience than Fletcher Cox. I should be playing.
We played the Super Bowl in Madden.
Yeah,
this week.
come on. He doesn't even play Madden.
Context is key.
So like the Patriots are going to be keying on Fletcher Cox, probably putting a center and a guard on him, leaving Chris Long one-on-one. So if he can get to him and disrupt Brady, I think that could be big.
Well, I think we all have very similar mindsets in terms of I picked someone on the line as well. Mine was actually Fletcher Cox, and I just mentioned him. I mean, you can pick anyone on the defense. I mean, I think the Eagles are so well rounded. We have so many great players, and that's saying nothing of how much we've had to overcome in terms of a team and injuries and stuff. But I don't want to go as far as to say like if you get pressure on Brady, you win games. Like I think it's more what the defensive line as a whole has to do what their job is the whole season is to get pressure on the quarterback. Situation here is Brady, I think, is maybe the best quarterback, if not the best quarterback in NFL history. You can't give him any time because he's dangerous like that. And it's just kind of the principle of what the defensive line should do is get pressure. I do mention Fletcher Cox specifically because I think it kind of depends what the Patriots will do in terms of covering him, which is why I thought, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I always believe Gronk was going to play. But that's not only for the passing, but he's also a great blocker. And but putting Gronk and maybe double teaming Fletcher Cox on the line would make possibly some other mismatches for the offensive line of the Patriots. And then kind of tying into that is that I think it's really important that the Eagles coordinators treat the players so that they can play well in the second half and not burn them out in the first half, which is I think a lot of teams try to start off with the gun strong, which they always should do, but then they burn out because of stamina or not. And I think the Eagles do have a lot of depth, the defensive line, to be able to rotate their players and still put pressure. But Fletcher Cox would be the guy I look at. Saying nothing of the fact that, I mean, enough has been said, I think, on Nick Foles and like what the offensive pieces have to do. So I'm just kind of focusing on Fletcher Cox. I think that's getting pressure on Brady is super important. Not the only key, but really important.
So this could be for both of you, I guess.
Okay.
Since the Eagles are so well-rounded on defense, do you feel like they even need to bring extra players? Like, would they be fine getting pressure to Brady with just their front 4, or do you think they need to start bringing blitzes around and they could be comfortable with the cornerbacks they have because they're so talented? Like
in the first half, they'll be fine. In the first half with their 4 rushers, they'll be fine. They're going to get pressure, and they're probably going to get a sack or 2 in the first half.
So you think they'll get pressure with the front 4?
Yeah, well, in the first half. Because Jacksonville has a better secondary than the Eagles. But the Eagles, I think, have a better D-line.
I agree with
so
that.
in the second half of the Jacksonville game, the D-line got tired. And they were getting pressure on Brady in the first half. But once they got tired and Brady dropped back, he must have dropped back 20 to 25 times in the second half, and the D-line just can't rush that much. Now, I think that with the Eagles' rotation, they have a better rotation and they have a little bit better D-line, so they might be able to do that, but they still might have to bring an extra guy in the second half. In the first half, I don't think they'll put a 5th guy in maybe once or twice. They're not going to blitz him more than once or twice in the first half.
Yeah, sort of tying into that. I don't know the statistics specifically, but it was like just with their 4 guys already, they're able to get pass rush on the defense like X% of time. I think it was like 40 or something. And when they do blitz, like that's without a blitz, an extra man, you know?
Yeah.
So can they do it on their own? Yeah. But that kind of tying into what John was saying, what I was saying earlier, is the ability to keep the pressure the whole game. And I think that'd be important throughout the whole game to get the pressure on Brady and really stretch that O-line physically, yeah.
Anyone to watch on the Eagles offense? Because we all picked defensive players.
If there's one guy to watch, I think it's Zach Ertz working the middle of the field.
That's a very
good
point.
The Patriots linebackers aren't amazing, so I think they're going to be able to stop the rush, and Foles is going to be scared to throw deep, so there's intermediate first down passes to Ertz that would be critical.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm wondering if Jay Ajayi, because he could have a really great game because he's so excited, he's pumped. He just came from the Dolphins, and never made the playoffs, and he could be really excited or whatever, or he could be really nervous, very unexperienced, and do terrible, and they might not even have a run game.
Well, if you're the Eagles offensive coordinator or coach, who do you give most of the carries to? Because Blunt won the Super Bowl with the Patriots last year, and he knows the Patriots, and Ajayi has been running better as of late.
Yeah, maybe you go with the veteran.
I don't know.
I think you go with the veteran. I forgot about Blunt.
Yeah.
And Smallwood.
Yeah. Maybe you start off with Ajayi and see how it goes, but Blunt could be more reliable, maybe hold on to the ball. I don't know.
I mean, they both have really different strengths. I mean, Garrett Blunt lives up to his name. Like, he's a blunt force. It's crazy. And then Ajayi is also a very strong player, but he's more quick with his feet. And I think the Eagles have been using him slightly more. I think what's most important, I think, for the coach is to be unpredictable in terms of you can choose either game plan to go with either, or maybe switch it up at the halftime and go to one or the other. The unpredictable part, I think, is really important, especially going against such a great opponent, which are the Patriots. But I guess if I had to pick someone on the offense, I think the most. I mean, I think you guys agree, but like to single out, I'd say Nick Foles, just to talk about him because we've talked about Ajayi. I mean that's a hard one too because we do have Ajayi and Blunt. Alshon Jeffrey's proven to be really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say him.
Yeah, so like it's kind of take your pick, you know.
Yeah. They're so talented.
Aguilar, Jeffrey. I mean, I'm not just anyone can be beaten on any given day, and it goes both ways for the Super Bowl. But Alshon Jeffrey's really good. Same with Zach Ertz, because Ertz is really important. I think Foles uses him a lot.
Yeah.
And he's a great tight end. But I guess the centerpiece of it I'll focus on for the debate, for the dorm debate, is Foles. He played really well in the Minnesota game. And I think if he plays his best and he plays what he can do, which I personally believe in Foles, I like him as a quarterback, he can do it. It's in his ability. It's not outside of him. Now, like, depending how he performs, of course, is he as consistent as other quarterbacks? Not always, but he can do it, and it's in his ability to do it. So I think he'd be the player to watch, to be able to convert on third down, which he's really good at, as well as like play action passing or throwing it downfield too, like being confident on the ball and not being afraid to kind of get some piercing shots downfield. All right, so now.
I'm not ready.
You're not
I'm
ready?
so not ready.
I could go first.
Yeah. All right. We're into the prediction part of the podcast. I still haven't made my pick. So we're going to let John, who's kind of confident in his pick, we're going to let him pick first.
I'll let Caleb pick first.
Oh, okay.
Just so I could get his hopes up first.
Because I already know what you're
Yeah.
going to say. Well, I mean, I feel if you've been following the podcast, I'm from Philadelphia, so of course I'm going to have to go with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh,
Super Bowl champs.
I'm aware of the bias and what it looks like and sounds like, but and I am unashamed of taking the mantle. I know some people don't like it, but I believe that Philly is the underdog here, so I'm kind of rooting from the emotional side of football where, we watch football to see the guys who don't have a chance of winning. And that being said, I think the Eagles have a great chance of winning. Great defense, and the Patriots have a good defense too, because I don't think people give that enough credit. But I think the Eagles D-line, and we're very well-rounded in the secondary. I think the defense is overall better than the Patriots and can discombobulate a lot of things on the Patriots offense. And as well as offensively, we have so many different weapons that we can vary the game style a lot. And I think kind of thing that I don't think a lot of people may mention is that I think our coach, Doug Peterson, is a really unique coach. He has an aggressive play style, and when we stick to that, we end up doing pretty well. I remember watching the Seattle game throughout the season that in my opinion, I thought we started playing a little conservatively against such a good team before more injuries and also Russell Wilson. And when we started playing conservative, we ended up losing. And when we ended up picking up and later in the game, we put up a little fight, but Russell Wilson kind of carried the team to the end. So I think the coaching as well is really unique, is being able to, even from the beginning of the season, develop such a well-rounded team. So yeah, that'll be that's my vote for the Super Bowl champ is the Eagles. Now I know we're going up against the Patriots, and they have some mystique, and they have like a mad juju about them that they always win, and that's deserved. They've won 5 Super Bowls, and they're going to be an 8. They're a great team, very well-rounded, very good opponent, and they have a really good quarterback. I'm hoping for a good game that ends with the Eagles' victory, but I think it's less one-sided than people may think, or what the Las Vegas spread thinks. Or 5-point spread's not that big, but
they have the Patriots.
I think it went down to like 3.5 or 4.
Which is interesting. I mean, the whole story. I mean, I think Kobe Bryant said it, but like the goal's not getting there; the goal's winning it for the Eagles. But even looking on the other side of it, having gotten there with the injuries we've had, as well as losing our MVP quarterback, could have been MVP, or who knows yet. Hasn't been announced yet. Probably not. You know what I mean. The injuries and as well as the fact that we got this far with a backup quarterback, and I think Nick Foles is a great quarterback. But that story alone is amazing. So I'm hoping and praying they take it all the way home. But I know it's going to be a tough fight.
So who do you think's, if they do win, who do you think's MVP of the game? Foles or Fletcher Cox?
Oof.
Or anybody else?
Well, that's good. We should do MVP.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, who do you need another minute to think about it?
I'd have to say, I think it'd go with Nick Foles.
Okay.
I know I said the player to watch Fletcher Cox. It's kind of contradictory, but
if he's if they're gonna win, he's gonna have to play well.
Yeah, exactly, and it kind of just focuses on him. A lot of it depends on him. So I think he can do it. So I'd go with Nick Foles. Just saying.
Okay. So the first thing I have to say with my prediction is that there are actually more people rooting for the Eagles than the Patriots, which is not surprising because nobody wants to see the Patriots win. But I would love to see the Patriots win. Sorry, Caleb. So the first thing is obviously, one thing we know is that the Eagles are going to be winning at halftime. Patriots are going to come back and win this game.
What is this?
I mean, there's a thing where they don't score in the first quarter, the Patriots, right?
Yeah, they don't. They know not to score in the first quarter.
I don't think they try to do that.
What happens is
the
the first half, they just let the Eagles get tired. The Eagles' D-line is going to get tired. The Eagles are going to throw a lot of offensive plays at them. And then at halftime, Belichick's going to be like, all right, the line, you have to do this. And then he's going to change up a bunch of things, and then the Eagles are going to have a whole different story in the second half because the Patriots are going to have seen all their plays, and they're going to counteract them, and then the Eagles' D-line is going to get tired and not be able to get as much pressure. So Patriots will come back, win this game 23-20, and Tom Brady will be Super Bowl MVP and win his 6th Super Bowl.
Was I supposed to say score in my last one or?
You don't have
You
to.
don't
Okay.
have to.
But
Yeah, I'm
I'm
okay.
not going to.
And
Very
then
specific.
so Brady will win his 6th MVP, and you might want to watch this one, folks, because this might be the last time we get to witness the brilliancy of Tom Brady and Bill
Really?
Belichick together.
You really think so?
It's sad.
Oh.
Wait, why do you think they're? You don't think they're gonna keep playing together?
No, Tom Brady just released is releasing his documentary of Tom vs. Time,
Really?
and Belichick and the Patriots just traded away their 2 backup quarterbacks.
So you think they're just like sabotaging the quarterback situation?
They're like
They're
going in different ways. This might be the last time. The 2
that's so weird
coordinators
to
are
think.
leaving, but I'm just saying you might want
I
to
did see the coordinators.
watch this game and take it in while it lasts.
Okay, I've come to a decision.
Oh wow, you had to think about it for a little bit. What does your gut tell you?
My gut.
I'm gonna go with your heart. Ignore your gut. What team
Go
do
with
you-
your head. Just think about.
Ignore your head and your gut. Let's go with your heart.
It's
His heart wants the Eagles to win,
my heart wants the Eagles,
but
and my gut wants the Eagles, and my brain and my liver.
thinks the
All your
Patriots.
organs, your vital organs.
All my vital organs
You know,
want the
actually,
Eagles.
I'm feeling my ACL right now. It thinks the Eagles are gonna win.
There's, I don't know. I can't even speak. I don't know what.
Just say one word.
I don't know
Patriots
what
or
to say.
Eagles.
Super Bowl 52.
Goes to the
Super Bowl champions will be the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh my God.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah.
Fly,
Oh
Eagles,
my
fly.
And
Here's-
and why?
Here's the storyline.
Okay, good.
I already wrote it. It's printed out. We already got everything. So, I think
Mm-hmm.
Eagles will be winning at halftime,
Okay, we agree on that.
20-3. That's what they're
At
gonna be.
half?
Yeah, 20-3.
What?
Oh my gosh.
You know what the end of the
Holy
score is gonna be?
What?
35-6.
What?
Patriots will not score a
You
touchdown.
decided this
What?
in the-
They won't even get a touchdown in the
It's
Super
all
Bowl.
coming to me right now. It's just like
That's when it's
Eureka.
most natural. You just
Well,
got to go off the
While
top
me
of
and
the
John
head.
I
were
don't-
talking.
the Eagles versus Vikings game really just opened my eyes a little bit. And you know, the Vikings are a great team. I mean, they were second seeded, beat the Saints on a
Yeah,
miracle,
that's-
but they still beat them.
That's crazy.
Great team.
Yeah.
And they absolutely smacked them.
Mm-hmm.
Just took their soul. Nothing left on the field. And yet again, after Nick Foles proves everybody wrong in the first game against the Falcons, proves everybody wrong in the second game against the Vikings, even in the Super Bowl, they make it to the Super Bowl. Oh, I don't think they're going to do it. Patriots are going to win. I disagree. I think they're going to come out, and it's going to be a domination. You remember Seahawks-Broncos? When Peyton Manning came in, everybody thought Peyton Manning was going to win and he was going to retire. And everything fell apart. And the Seahawks were kind of a new team. They were almost trying to create a dynasty. And Peyton Manning didn't know what to do. They got absolutely smacked. And Tom Brady had to come in and stop the Seahawks dynasty the next year. But I think Foles, with all the receivers they have, tight end Zach Ernst, they have one of the top 3 lines in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Every position on the defensive side
Offense and defense line.
is stacked.
Mm-hmm.
With the Patriots, I just don't see the amount of talent. Tom Brady makes up for all the talent.
We never see all the talent.
We never do.
But Belichick and Brady just
But you don't have Edelman, right?
correct. Yeah.
Oh, was he out? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Gronk, we don't know what's going through his head. He could be seeing stars.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he could
He's-
be.
He's fine.
So that's 2 of your main
Yep.
receivers out. So now you have Amendola, and you got your 2 running backs, James
You got
White,
Cooks and Hogan.
and Cooks is a good one. I forgot about that. That's a good one,
He's
John.
decent.
Not good enough. So, not Aguilar is amazing, and Alshon Jeffrey is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be an absolute domination,
Wow.
and I think this is what my thinking is. Tom Brady is going to lose by a lot, and then he's going to come back and win
Okay.
next year, and then he's going to retire.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just give him like one more
Can I
year.
just say one thing? So earlier in
Not
the
even
year,
a touchdown for the Patriots.
earlier in the year,
Yes.
the
let me think
Raiders
back.
played the Chiefs.
Yeah, and they
Do you remember
won.
that game?
They won a close one.
They won it was very close.
A lot of personal fouls.
Amari Cooper had he was doing so bad, and he had a 200-yard game,
One
2
lucky
touchdowns,
game.
one lucky game, right?
Oh, isn't
So-
that funny? Because in fantasy I traded Jonathan
that was
and then he
funny.
put him on the bench and he scored
So,
49.
yeah, he had him starting the whole year. He put him on the bench that one game.
Oh, I hate fantasy
So
for that.
so Amari Cooper had 200 yards, I think 12 catches, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, stunned the Chiefs because the Cooper has been doing horrible and gave him the second loss of the season. And we came on the podcast and me and Jonathan were like, wow, these Raiders, they just woke up Cooper. And Jared, you're like, no, that was just one game. Come on, guys, what are you thinking? And you proved to be right. So now you're looking back on the Minnesota game and you say, oh, wow, this one game opened my eyes to Foles. I'm going to say the same thing to you. It's one game. Why? Well, he didn't play so great against Atlanta. He had one game.
I think it was the Raiders game.
Why is that
and the
different than
Falcons
now?
game,
It wasn't
Vikings game.
just one game. That was a regular season, mid-season game.
Mm-hmm.
This was the NFC Championship. He absolutely balled out. I said he had to play like Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning all combined into one, and he did exactly that.
Wow.
So you think that he could do that again?
Of course. And then, even though he didn't play great against the Falcons, he got him the win. He got the job done.
Yeah.
2 times. So what more do you want from him?
I mean,
I'm just saying it might have been one fluke game, and he's going to need a play almost like he did against the Vikings.
See, I believe that he will have enough weapons around him that he won't need to play like that. I may have overstated. May.
Well, let me say it is nice to have an ally for once.
You're not ganged up on for once.
I think the Vikings game, I was the only one.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
biased, but I was like the only one.
But you got it. You were right.
Yeah, so it's nice. I don't know if it's going to be by such a big margin, but I appreciate your confidence.
Oh, I've never been more confident in something in my entire life. Wow.
It's going to be a lot of decisions. and I'm
5
glad
minutes
this is
ago,
up
you were
there.
like, can somebody else go first? I don't know.
Inspiration comes in unexpected
It just like
moments
happened to me.
in places.
It just came to me. Opened my eyes.
But yeah, I'm glad you said it. I mean, I don't want to strut. I mean, with the Vikings game, I think the Vikings were a great team. I know a lot of people wanted them to win because they had a great story. And I respect the Vikings a lot for the team they brought and the team they played. I mean, it was a game in our direction for the Eagles, but they're a great team, and I respect them a lot. And I think the same for the Patriots. They're a phenomenal team. I do agree with everything you said. That I think on paper we have better weapons, better
On
options.
paper, you guys are a better team.
Yes, but the talent,
Sometimes you
but
gotta be smart.
Any experience goes to
That's-
the Patriots.
like that'd be fair. I mean, and then what I was saying is just like the Patriots combo. They get there not because of luck. They have a refined
smart.
system, and they get there. And I think what John was saying earlier, like where Foles can have a bad game, he can. I mean, he started before for the Eagles and didn't stay a starter, which I've always been a fan. But like at the time, I made the decision, and no one would have thought he would have been a Super Bowl quarterback years later. So it's crazy how life works. But yeah, it's nice to have an ally. I appreciate it.
So earlier in the year, when in one of our first podcasts, I picked Foles because he was good. I picked Foles to go to the Packers when Rodgers got hurt, and apparently, I guess
Look
I
at him
proved to be
now.
right because he's going to the Super Bowl.
Insane.
But I'm gonna choose
Yeah.
against him. So one quick question, quick yes or no from both of you: will Foles
No
get
promises.
to 250 yards passing? Quick yes or no?
Oh, that was quick. I'll say sure.
Yes.
Sure. I mean,
Okay. Yes or no?
I mean, I don't know if there's any statistic against me.
No.
No, but he will play well enough to win. Just
He'll
like
play- I think the rushing is going to be a big
the
factor.
rushing will be better.
I think
Bigger factor.
that's important for
It
the
depends.
Patriots, too.
If they have, what is it, Clements and Smallwood, if they go that deep in their,
Yeah.
or in their running backs,
Yeah.
then I don't think he'll pass that much. But if they stick with, 1 or 2 running backs with Ajayi and Blunt,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they use him for pass blocking or something, then he would. But I think they're going to be more towards running.
I
Yeah,
think it's the same for the Patriots too.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a little more conservative with the play calls. I know against Minnesota they did a couple flea flickers, chucked it deep a little bit, but I don't think Foles is going to get. I don't even think he's going to get to 200 yards because I think the play calling is going to be a little more conservative.
Like, I can see why, but like what I was saying earlier, that I hope the Eagles don't do that, and they just. I mean, it's the Patriots. Like, you're kind of fighting uphill here, and they're a great team. But at this point, you can't change your game just to fit your opponent. I think a lot of coaches in the past have kind of overthought playing the Patriots. I mean, of course, you do need to prepare. And I know Bill Belichick has a reputation for preparing extremely well against the opponents weeks in advance. And I hope the Eagles coach and coaching staff has done that as well. Just being a well-rounded team and not changing your game, believing in who you are. And if it gets you there, it gets you there, you know. But like the one quote, it's like anyone can be beaten on any given day. So either direction. But I hope it goes for the Eagles.
I was just looking at something. Is Ronald Darby even playing?
I don't know.
He dislocated his right ankle.
I saw a couple of guys on an injury report.
I did not hear that.
Or something like that.
Does it say he's probably going to play?
It says that he has an illness on Thursday, which is
I think I saw that
he had an illness.
Or Fletcher Cox too.
That should be all right.
Could be the flu.
Fletcher Cox with a calf and Jay Ajayi with an ankle.
Yeah,
they'll be fine. They've had 2 weeks. They're fine.
So wait, last thing is Super Bowl MVP.
I said Brady.
Yeah,
You think it's gonna be Brady?
I said Foles.
You said Foles.
Did you say one? Oh, right, no.
I think I'm gonna go with a defensive player,
Okay.
someone who's gonna get a pick six.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I was looking at the cornerbacks.
Okay.
Maybe Jenkins, Malcolm Jenkins.
I like
Okay.
that. I like that choice.
I
Yeah,
think
he's smart.
Malcolm
He's great,
Jenkins is gonna get a pick six. Take it to the house, and he will get Super Bowl MVP.
Wow.
He's good. I think he did that in 2015 when we played the Patriots or something like that. I was reading an article and he got like a pick six for 98 yards or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just feel like a pick six is coming,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be a defensive player.
Oh my gosh.
No. Oh, we're fine.
Okay.
We're fine. If that didn't record, I'm gonna say it again. Malcolm Jenkins is gonna be Super Bowl MVP. He's gonna get a pick
Good
six.
That's a fair
Okay.
pick.
That's good.
Yeah.
He's smart enough to do that. So
Great player.
one last thing, or two last things for the podcast for this year. One, the Patriots special teams is going to get a turnover. I don't know who the punt returner is for the Eagles, but he's going to muff a punt. I'm sorry. Left-footed punter for the Patriots. I don't even know who he is, but he's going to try to catch it, bobble it, get tackled, and then the Patriots is going to come in, recover it. The special teams for the Patriots are good. They're just good in every area, and they do things super smart. They have a left-footed punter. Ball spins the opposite way.
Eagles also have a left-footed punter, so I feel like in practice.
They
Yeah.
catch.
Oh.
Well played, Caleb.
Well played.
Special
But-
teams is something we did overlook
special
throughout the
teams.
debate,
That
so.
could be a big difference. And then one last
Maybe a
thing
second.
that you guys have been overlooking,
Eli.
and the one
Overlooking.
reason you have not even thought of this. Trust me.
Amendola.
Nope. The one reason why the Patriots will win the Super Bowl. Do you know what color the Patriots are wearing?
White.
White. 12 of the last 13 Super Bowl winners wore white. 12 of the last 13.
I
That's
saw that.
crazy.
Uh,
And again, the Patriots are going to they picked white to wear. They're 3-0 with white. 12 of the last 13 winners are with white. Patriots will win. Drop the mic.
See, I believe the Super Bowl will be like the Mayweather McGregor fight.
So basically, the person that they think is going to win is going to win.
It's gonna be a slight change. So I believe the Eagles are McGregor and the Patriots are Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
So Patriots are gonna let them, get tired,
Yep.
take the hits in the first couple rounds,
Yep.
and then when they try to come back, they're like, "Oh, this is not the team that we thought it was."
We didn't think we could come back this season.
Right.
they got
Oh,
a
okay.
reputation, but we'll see on Sunday.
We will see
We will see.
It'll be.
on Super Bowl Sunday.
I'm proud of my Eagles.
Excited.
Goal wasn't to get there, it's to win it.
It's
The Eagles
So
gotta
we'll see.
fly. They can't get
They gotta-
shot in the air.
We got a big game.
All
All right.
right,
Close us out
folks.
for our final.
That was a good year.
This may be the very last dorm debate podcast we ever do.
We'll see.
But stay tuned because
We
We'll
might
see.
do a mock
might
draft.
do an NFL mock draft
Possibly.
and a Super Bowl after the Super Bowl in a mock draft.
Or Madden.
Oh,
Combine
Super
those.
Bowl reaction.
Yeah, Super Bowl reaction and a mock draft.
We'll see
Okay.
what we do. Stay tuned.
Yeah. We'll see.
Keep subscribing.
If this is the last one, it has been an absolute pleasure. I don't know what else to say except go Eagles.
Thank you. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly. And go subscribe.
Yeah.